It's the feature that comes up next, the Cleeve hurdle. We've got winners of the last two runnings of the race, and it looks a thoroughly representative field of the stayers hurdle is around in this country at the moment. And there is last year's winner, horse number 1, Agrippa. Nick Williams, when I spoke to him earlier, open-minded about whether he'd handle the ground here this afternoon. 2, Lil Rockefeller, after not entirely convincing connections over fences, comes back over hurdles, hoping to pick up over timber where he left off last season. Let's come back to number 4, Paisley Park, who is very much, of course, the now horse on the back of his valuable handicap win at Haydock in November. He went on to Ascot to take the long walk hurdle with some of today's rivals in behind him. He's now looking to take another step along the road. And there's Black Op. After a brief foray over fences when things didn't quite work out for him, he finds himself back over hurdles, perhaps trying to give a much-needed boost to the form of last year's Ballymore, which has taken a few knocks along the way. You'll have seen horse number 11, the Mighty Don, go through the shot. He's got an official mark of 150. Puts him perhaps a little bit to find against some of the key contenders in this race, but he comes into the race in decent heart. Coming up behind the camera, we got number 3, who's going to appear in shot very shortly, and that is Midnight Shadow. It's a step up in trip for him. I'm not sure really one way or the other whether he's going to get it. He certainly stuck out the 2.5 miles here pretty doggedly on New Year's Day, but this is going to require more from him in a much deeper race. That's last year's Scottish champion hurdle winner. Then we got Sam Spinner, number 5 in the cheap pieces. Retrieval mission time for him following 2 unseats in 2 runs this season. Then we're back to last year's winner, Agrippa. Another look at 2, Lil Rockefeller. And then we come to the grey, Au Petit Soin. It's another step along the road for him after a good success here last time out. He needs to figure prominently in this if he's to take up an engagement in the stayers hurdle. He's followed around by Holstone, who chased home Agrippa, narrowly beaten by that rival in the race 12 months ago. We know his record at the track. And then back to 4, Paisley Park, followed by another look at Black Op, who looks every inch a chaser, but it hasn't quite worked out for him. And then West Approach, who was 3rd in this race 2 years ago, behind You Know What I Mean Harry, and the Mighty Don coming up to the left of shot as well. So that's a fair chunk of them. Haven't quite yet seen You Know What I Mean Harry. We'll probably catch up with him out on the track, but a good looking renewal of this Grade 2 contest.
Brilliant racing already today. We've still got the feature to come. This is the GalliardHomes.com Cleeve Hurdle, and Paisley Park heads the betting at 7-2 after that Ascot success last time. Black Op back in this sphere, 5-1. Au Petit Soin, 5-1. 8-1 for Midnight Shadow. That same price about Holstone. You Know What I Mean Harry's just on the ease out to 10, having touched 17-2. But Paisley Park is the one that heads them. 7-2 for the Cleeve.
Paisley Park then is the favourite. It has been backed into 7-2 after winning the long walk hurdle, in which they finished in a bit of a pack. Can he distinguish himself today?
Well, I must say I'm surprised to see him as short as that. I'm not at all sure about the value of the Ascot form. As you say, bit of a pack. Several of the market leaders out the race or hampered, and nevertheless, you know, it is a Grade 1 that he's won.
Really?
And he could cement his proper place here if he can win this.
Black Ops reverting to hurdles.
Looks every inch a chaser till it comes to jumping. Very, very smart novice hurdler. First time at the trip. Too many doubts for me.
Hurdling a question as well. He can make mistakes. Angus was making that point earlier. How about Au Petit Soin? Is he up to this level? He certainly ran well in a stayers hurdle many, many moons ago.
He did, and he's come back after a long break, and he looked tremendous when winning a handicap here. I was very taken with that. He's one of my 2.
And the other one is?
Holstone, who I'm now convinced stays 3 miles. Didn't like making his own running here in the Railkill on New Year's Day, and is a very, very solid horse around Cheltenham.
Midnight Shadow's trying a new trip, and he beat Holstone in the Railkill last time.
Yeah, outpaced him off a moderate pace after Holstone had made the running. He's worth trying in this because, of course, there's nothing else for them to aim at, in a sense, at the festival. So if he does stay, he'll be he'll be placing himself right in it because he does have a turn of foot.
You know what I mean, Harry? Fell for the first time in his entire career last time. Something of a shock.
It was a shock. And same hurdle where Sam Spinner had unseated a circuit earlier. And prior to that, of course, he'd shown himself to be nearly, if not as good as ever, when winning at Newbury.
As that intensive schooling helped Sam Spinner regain his mojo, and an interesting jockey booking on Lil Rockefeller as well. Neil King has employed Bryony Frost, who's been schooling that horse as well, and he too reverts to hurdles. We've also got Agrippa, of course, who won this race last year. So a fascinating and wide open edition of the GalliardHomes.com Cleeve Hurdle. They're walking towards the start. So any final thoughts?
No, I mean, this is one of the races we've been looking forward to all afternoon. It suddenly almost seems to paled into insignificance after the earlier events.
It's just been such a fantastic day.
It really has.
But this could be a moment where we see a horse distinguish himself in this particular division. Penhill, of course, at the top of the tree with his win in the Stayers Hurdle and the Albert Bartlett the year before. But now, do we have a British runner up against him?
Rockefeller sets out in front as they run to the first of a dozen flights in this GalliardHomes.com Cleeve Hurdle. The orange of Sam Spinner runs in second place as they get over number 1, which they're all over safely. I Charlie is at the back of the field with the Mighty Don. You know what I mean, Harry, and Black Op are together in third and fourth places, about 3 lengths off the leader at this stage. Green of Holston is next as they move towards number 2. Agrippa follows. Then the West Approach in orange and black, who's ahead of Paisley Park, the favourite and also best turned out winner. Followed then by Midnight Shadow, a green jacket, yellow sleeves, who races alongside the grey Petit Swan as the leaders jump over number 3. On the outer of those was the Mighty Don in brown and yellow, and I Charlie in the blue and pink colours is 2 lengths behind those in the back marker, and he'd be 12, maybe 15 lengths behind the leader, Lil Rockefeller, who's heading uphill in front towards flight number 4 and has moved on to almost a 3-length lead. Sam Spinner runs in second, the very pale colours of Black Op. Noel Field is just about in third position then as they jump over number 4. He's about a length and a half in front of one of the 2 previous winners in this lineup. You know what I mean, Harry, a green and yellow hoop jacket for Barry Geraghty. Alongside him is Holston, and they're in fact virtually level now in 4th and 5th places. Agrippa, Lizzie Kelly in the purple and yellow follows, an orange jacket for Tom Scudamore on West Approach is around the outside of Paisley Park. Aidan Coleman, mainly blue jacket, is 1 length in front them as they run downhill of Midnight Shadow. Then comes the Mighty Don, Au Petit Soin the grey, Harry Skelton 1 from the rear. The back marker continues to be Paddy Brennan on I Charlie as they race then on towards the downhill flights, and Sam Spinner has joined Little Rockefeller, but they have shot away from the others now. They will be almost 10 lengths ahead of Black Op running in 3rd position. You know what I mean, Harry. Holston and the orange of West Approach are next. Then Agrippa, Paisley Park, the Mighty Don, the orange cap of Midnight Shadow towards the running rail. Au Petit Soin is next, and I Charlie is still the back marker as they run towards number 6 and up the home straight for the first time. On the right, Bryony Frost on Lil Rockefeller, the green with the red and yellow checks on the sleeves. On the left, Joe Colliver in orange colours on Sam Spinner, with Black Op now moving closer in the light blue. It's about 7 lengths behind him, clambered over that though in 3rd place. White cap for You Know What I Mean, Harry's 2 lengths behind. This holds 4th as they get to halfway, and then Holstone in the grey against the running rail. West Approach is next, a half length behind him to Paisley Park, and then comes the Mighty Don around the outside of Midnight Shadow, both of whom have just moved up ahead of Agrippa. Au Petit Soin the grey is next, and 2 lengths behind him is I Charlie as they group a little bit now. There's now going to be less than 10 lengths first to last as they run on towards number 7 in this GalliardHomes.com Cleeve Hurdle. The front pair continue to be Little Rockefeller and Sam Spinner as they both jump that well. Maybe 2 lengths behind them to Black Op in 3rd, couple of lengths away to You Know What I Mean, Harry and Holston together. Little bit of progress now, Paisley Park, Aidan Coleman coming through on the inside of West Approach. Then Midnight Shadow is making progress, Danny Cook hugging the inner of the course. Wide of him is Lake Naspel on the Mighty Don is making progress. Au Petit Swan is next as they jump the middle one away to the far side. Agrippa has dropped now to be the back marker. Aye Charlie's just ahead of him. Quickly now at the fourth from the finish. Little Rockefeller over by about a half length. All over it okay. Second position is Sam Spinner, 1 length away. Black Op a lot closer in third. Holston and You Know What I Mean Harry together 4 and 5, and West Approach is wide of those. Then Paisley Park, the Mighty Dawn and Midnight Shadow in line, just a length off those two. Petit Swan as they move now towards the third last. They're followed by Aye Charlie and Agrippa, the back marker. 3 out. Leaders and the whole field are over it okay. Little Rockefeller just to Sam Spinner in second place. Just open up by 2 lengths again to Black Op running in third. West Approach then in orange around the outside of green colours for Holstone are 4 and 5. They move up ahead of You Know What I Mean Harry. A length and a half then to Paisley Park, just being given the hurry up and there's no immediate response. Midnight Shadow goes well on the inside of him, and then comes Petit Swan as they race downhill towards the second last. And as they run now inside the final 3/4 of a mile, Little Rockefeller, Sam Spinner, the pale jacket on the left of Black Op. Then West Approach, extreme left in the orange, is bang in contention with them well as they jump over the second last. Petit Swan is making progress. You Know What I Mean Harry behind this, then Midnight Shadow. Paisley Park's going widest of all in the blue, still trying to get on terms as Black Op will head now towards the home turn and the final flight of hurdles. Here comes Paisley Park now. He's in the 5th position. West Approach has come to join Black Op. Sam Spinner is there. Paisley Park coming between them. Little Rockefeller's next. You Know What I Mean Harry behind that. Now West Approach. Tom Scudamore on the left in orange. Paisley Park. Aidan Coleman on the right in blue. And this pair draw down towards the last, and they're zooming clear of Paisley Park. Zooming clear of all of them. Got over the last safely. Ears pricked. He's 4 or 5 lengths clear, and he's going comfortably inside the last furlong. West Approach is second. Black Op is third. Sam Spinner behind this in fourth. But Paisley Park, he's 8-10 lengths clear with Aidan Coleman. This is impressive. Paisley Park for Emma Lavelle, 4 from 4 this season in great style. West Approach was second. Black Op in third. Sam Spinner will run home in fourth.
Paisley Park, an emphatic winner of the Cleeve hurdle in the hands of Aidan Coleman for Emma Lavelle. The horse that brought them both their first Grade 1 success in the long walk hurdle has followed up with a far more impressive victory and well backed. The 130 favourite come home clear of West Approach, who also followed him home at Ascot last time. Tom Scudamore on for Colin Tizard, and back in third, switching back to hurdles, Black Op. 1 or 2 mistakes, but a much better performance from him for Noel Feely and Tom George. So we were looking for a horse to distinguish himself on this side of the Irish Sea to take part in the Stayers Hurdle with a leading chance, and we have got one.
Blimey. Well. You wouldn't have called that the top of the hill. He was going least well of all those that had a chance, and he's ended up powering home. I mean, he's clearly an absolute thorough stayer at the trip. He's beaten West Approach by much further. Much further than he did at Ascot. He's beaten all the rest hands down, and yes, I thought the Ascot form was very dubious. This isn't.
It's utterly dominant, to be fair.
This is, yeah. I mean, in a race run at a truer gallop, his stamina has been unleashed really, and from the bottom of the hill to the top, he's really powered up it, and it's probably not the. In overall depth, there's probably not the real quality behind him, but to be as dominant as that, it's a better performance than Ascot, and I think ultimately it's the emphasis on stamina that the track and the pace has provided that have allowed him to produce this sort of performance. It's
been a well-run race, and for that we can thank Bryony Frost on Lil Rockefeller, but also Joe Colliver on board Sam Spinner, who's run better for a long way. Both of them revived in these conditions.
Yeah, I've been waiting about 3-4 years to see a Cheltenham staying race run at a proper gallop like this, and you know, when we've got one, we've seen a proper race and a proper performance, really smart performance from the winner to do it. West Approach, touch on him, another good performance, another defeat however, but you can't argue with his consistency at this level. He travelled into the race well, and Black Op in behind, he appears to have stayed the trip to me, and it's probably a career best performance from him really. It's outside of novice company over hurdles for the first time. He's been placed and he's run very well.
Now that's where Holstone lost what chance he had.
Yes, I don't think he was. I don't think he was going well enough to be in there, but that was a serious mistake, and that ended it.
And also at this point, with the orange cap on the inside, Midnight Shadow's stamina is coming to an end, and then it's absolutely finished with a mistake, a terrible mistake at the last one. He also loses his back legs.
Yeah, he was very tired at the time, wasn't he? And I think they at least got far enough to know that 3 miles isn't his trip, so he'll no doubt be dropping back in distance. What else have we got in there? Sam Spinner. Sam Spinner as well, who showed more zest for a long way today.
Yeah.
Jumped better.
Lil Rockefeller has run really well. I mean, this is the horse that ran second up on absolute merit 2 stairs hurdles ago.
Yes, he did. That's Midnight Shadow coming to a standstill. Yeah, Lil Rockefeller has shown a lot more verve this afternoon, as has Sam Spinner, but I mean, it's all about the winner, this, isn't it? And from what looked like a long walk hurdle that you might not place too much trust in, well, I didn't anyway, and I placed quite a lot of trust in that.
Well,